going through. We are in the fag end of things, but let's welcome in, Amit Jain, who's the CMD of Arkade Developers, now joining in post hitting, decent set of numbers in this particular quarter. Mr. Jain, very good afternoon to you, sir. Thanks so much for joining in. It's Puneet this side. Your gross development value continues to inch up. It's something that we've seen over the last year or so also build up for you. The question largely being, you gave an update in the last quarter that a few of your projects that were expected to come in, a key one in Velepala by December. Any update that you can provide through for the more near-term projects? How have the sales through performance and the pre-sales for those going in? Is this as per your target?
Yeah, we've launched a project in Santa Cruz, Arcade Sapphire, last quarter. And we are in the process of launching 2 more projects this financial year. One project is in Malad. That's a redevelopment project with a projected sales top line of around 800 crore. And another project is in Thane with a projected top line of 2,000 crore, which we are proposing to launch in the last quarter of this financial year.
Mr. Jain, I also want to ask you, how has this quarter been? Because you mentioned about the new projects that have come through, but this was a very volatile quarter as well. With geopolitical crisis, you saw that some impact in Q4 at the very fag end in the month of March. But did you see any impact in this particular quarter, any kind of buyer fatigue or behavior? Because we've also seen that the pre-sales numbers actually held up for most companies. But is there something that you've seen on the ground in this particular quarter?
Yeah, there is an adverse impact on the sales and the construction velocity also because of the geopolitical crisis. There was shortage of manpower, there is shortage of raw material as well. Industries were not getting energy supplies, gas supplies, because of which the production was down and the supply of raw material was down. Laborers were going back to their native because they were not finding LPG, and all of it did hamper the construction a bit and eventually the sales also. But in spite of that, we've a pre-sales which is 9% more than the quarter-on-quarter last year.
And is that the reason, Mr. Jain, that you've seen revenues actually come down in this quarter as well? Because has there been a timing gap?
That is one of the reasons because of which the construction did take a hit, and effectively the sales also did take a hit.
Also, if you can provide some perspective on your collections as well, because we've seen that in this particular quarter, there has been a slight dip on that front too. Anything that you can provide us, if that's specific to any particular project, or is that similar to the reason that you pointed out in this particular quarter?
Because of the construction progress delay, the collections were hit marginally, not substantially. We have kind of like consistent collection, marginally they are down.
And just, one key question coming through on what we've seen, on your financial performance as well. Now, compared to, FY23, of course, which was a big year for you, you're up almost 4x in terms of revenues at 800 crores for FY26. Last couple of years, you've been in this range of 6 to 800 crores. Now, with the multiple key projects coming through, should we see a more larger impact on terms of revenue growth in FY28? Yeah. What can be the expectations from this year?
So 27 and 28, we are looking at a top line like a revenue of 1200 to 2000 crore range. So there will be a significant jump in the revenues in the coming 2 years because of new launches and bigger project size. The scale of the projects that are coming up is going to be far bigger than what it is currently.
So when you mentioned that from 1200 to 2000 odd crores, I'm guessing that for this year, this would be the minimum revenue threshold, right? Around 1200 odd crores that you would be targeting. So is that growth more back-ended?
We can call it pre-sales in that range. The revenue will be realized as and when the project progresses, but pre-sales in the range of 1200 to 2000 crore in the coming 2 years.
Got it. So you're mentioning that your pre-sales will be roughly between 1200 to 2000 odd crores. But that revenue, so my question, sir, was more on the revenue aspect as well, because we have seen that progression of pre-sales over the last couple of years, but has stagnated in the 6 to 800 crores in revenues in the last 3 years. So for this year, can we expect 1200 crores revenue?
We can expect a 4-digit, I would say, a transition from 3-digit to 4-digit
4-digit.
thousand.
Okay. Okay. Just crossing the 1,000 crore mark. Got it.
Yeah.
Well,
so revenue will always follow the pre-sales. Construction will follow the pre-sales.
Got it. Well, Mr. Jain, thanks so much for joining in, giving us your perspective about Arkade as well as what's to look forward to. So definitely, a quarter which was marred by geopolitical crisis. We've seen that in the real estate space as well, but management optimistic on what they are seeing in terms of pre-sales over the next 12 to 24 months. But let's continue with what we've seen. Let's pull up specialty restaurants.